everyone to poppin', often, well often. Today, we're gonna be going over Lire's 4th job. Now I know I got some catching up to do. We got other jobs to do. I got what? I gotta do Lire's, which is this last one. Then I have to do our maze, and then I have to do our maze. What we're gonna do is go over the 4th job. I'm gonna give you tips for PvP and PvE. A lot of people think that these guides are strictly for PvP. A lot of these guides actually help for PvE too. I just don't say it's PvE. I just say it's PvP. All right, so we're pretty much gonna go over just the basics of her, and then we're gonna go ahead and try to dive into some tips and tricks of her as well. So I'm gonna do something a little different though. Everything that I talk about, I'm gonna give a little tip to it. That makes sense? That way you're getting a tip every single time and we're not going back. I don't know. Let me know in the comments how this works. So first things first is we have the auto attack. Right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have 5 shots, but if you time it properly, you can do the dash back thing and we can get 6 shots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like that. Also, the character is not going to fall over if they're running towards you. If they're running towards you, they'll try to deflect, or they won't be actually falling down, so you can get another hit in just for free. The next thing that we have is the ZZ up, kicks them into the air. So the cool thing about this move is we can actually get a grab off of it. So we just do it properly, get the grab, bam. We can also use the slide dashing technique, where if you go for a dash, she'll go for a slide. So if we do it like that, we could actually hit you in a slide as well. You can't really juggle, I don't think, anymore. She used to be able to, but I don't think you can get up fast enough to do it. We could try. Let's give it a go. Yeah, I don't think you can. Yeah, you see kind of how it stops you? Like, okay, so look at this, right? It's smoother, but look what happens if you hit somebody. She kind of gets stopped, and it delays your ability to juggle. So wow, they literally took a lot of the juggles that were deemed, in my opinion, quote unquote unfair. They removed them, or at least they tried to nerf them. So that's pretty interesting to think about that, because she did used to be able to juggle. You could probably get 2, like if you can really have them in a floating motion, you can probably get 2, but for the most part, you're probably getting 1. Then we also have the down C, which is very nice for evasions. You could do it within any part of your combo, even at the last part. So we could do it at 2, we could do it at 3, we could do it at 4, we could do it at 5. But just remember, she has 5 shots. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can go ahead and dash. It's very easy to get to the last one and do it. They let you get a lot of time. You have a lot of leeway into when you can do your evasion. So definitely something I think you should spam when you can and when it's necessary. As we talked about, the dash slide is her next thing. We already discussed how that works. We also have the dash into the backward shot. The next move you have is a dash backward Z. One thing to note is you cannot do the dash backward Z in air. So if we do it like this, it won't work, you see? But you can go ahead and dash on the ground, which will allow you to do it. So just kind of remember that, okay? One thing you can do also is you can traverse the platforms while doing it. So let me give you an example. So you can see kind of how it's a little different. What you're pretty much doing is rocket jumping. So that way, because when you rocket jump, you're jumping at a slope. So if you look at the regular jump here, boop, look how much air time you have. But if you rocket jump, not off the platform, hey, recorders make mistakes too. I'm not gonna leave it out too, it's a blooper. When you rocket jump, you see how she gets to the platform a little bit quicker, in which case you could go ahead and do the back Z faster. Okay, so that's something to just keep in mind when you're doing it. Yeah, you can't do the backwards Z in air, but you could pretty much rocket jump to where you want and try to get it a little bit quicker. The next thing we have, of course, is the up Z. So we have this. I mean, nothing really fantastic about it. The one thing that makes it really fantastic though is you can auto with it. So the thing you can do with the up Z is basically something called autoing. Each character autos a little bit differently, and ranged autos different from melees. So the auto with Lire, I said in the 3rd job video, I believe. If you can go back and take a look at that, I explain how to do it, but pretty much it's a rocket jump into an auto attack. As you see right here, the faster you do it, the more smooth it becomes. If you hold one of the arrows and rocket jump the opposite way, it's actually a little bit quicker, but it's a little bit harder to do. So if you hold the right button, I always said, remember this little dent in the ground? It makes it harder to do the rocket jump, so just remember that. But yeah, you can hold it and she'll do a little bit differently. One thing you want to note is you want to time it a little bit. You don't want to go incredibly fast, because there is a cooldown to where she can't do the jump anymore if you spam it too quickly. So you're gonna have to get the rhythm and you can keep going. And look at that. So the ones that's really, really quick is if you hold it. The game will recognize that you're doing it too quickly and it'll stop you. Okay, so I'll hold it this way and try to get the game to notice that I'm doing it a little bit too quick, and they'll have a cooldown. Okay, so as you see, I'll move myself real quick. There's a cooldown and I can't do it anymore. It's right there in the corner. So be a little bit more cautious about that. If you are gonna do the hold the left or right arrow key while doing it, make sure you are only trying to get a quick burst out of it because you'll be stopped. So I think it's only with just this job as well, because she can get really quick with it if you time it. All right, the next thing that we have is the double jump into the ground smack. Just kind of something to get to the ground a lot quicker. It's used to just kind of trick the enemy in a sense and make it so that you're very, very hard to catch. It's not really used for damage too much if you really want to get good at Nova. And then the last thing here, we have the down Z. So you see, just little shots fired. Nothing too crazy. It's not even something you probably will use too often unless you're above the target. All right, let's talk about the skills. So the first bar is this. Nothing too fancy. You can't really get anything intense off of it. You can spam it though if you go like this. Oops. You can't spam it if you go like this. You can even wait if you want for that and then cancel it, because that last one will knock them down. Unless they're already running and deflecting, I believe. There's a little thing you can do where you can deflect that last one, but for the most part, it will knock them down. So before she does that last shot, get ready to recast, and you can spam it again, and they're just stuck there, unless they counter out. The next bar we have is the Blood Rain. So, as you notice, it rewards you with more damage if you shoot them from the side than if you shoot them from the air. So as an example, a lot of people would do this in the old Grand Chase, is they would go and use the Blood Rain, but they would wait till you're on top of them and then do that. But they did nerf it in a sense where it does less damage now, even if you do hit them like that. So you want to get a little bit better at using it. So if you are over just a bit and she launches you up, you see how it's hitting on the side too. So they didn't necessarily take away the ability to get a lot of damage from knocking them up, but you just have to be a lot more sensitive to where you're aiming it, and then you can get the bonus damage off of it. So I think that's really cool design from them. And the last bar here is, I don't ever really think you're gonna be using this ability, but if you manage to use it, I'd recommend just doing it in front of their face. I wouldn't recommend doing it far away. I would definitely recommend doing it in front of their face. And like if they're in the corner, it's even better. Or if they're chasing you, what you can do, so let's say they're chasing, you're running, and they're following you. As soon as they get up here, fire that thing off. Boom. Where they're gonna go, right? Better for them to hit. If you shoot it from way across the map, it's very easy to go under or over it, and it's very hard to aim. So just remember that when you are playing. Thank you guys for watching. I do appreciate it. If you guys want to help support the channel, as I said before, please scroll down to that page down below. I would appreciate any and all support to help keep my videos going and to help keep pumping them out as much as I do. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, you know what I always say. Thank you for what? Popping often. We're locked.